Hello and welcome to today's speed build. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining us, and if not, then welcome back. So today I am super excited, you guys. I am so excited to share this build with you. I am building in the beautiful world of Moonwood Mill, which is of course the world that we got with the werewolves game pack. I was going to say expansion pack, game pack, and this is a beautiful world. I've always thought it was beautiful. I have only built here like a handful of times, but each time I have built here, I've just thought it looks incredible. And all of the items that came with the werewolves pack were just done incredibly well, and it worked so nicely for this build that I'm doing today. So I decided that I wanted to do a post-apocalyptic like safe haven bunker, like I don't know how to explain it, like, you know, kind of den, kind of like area. I don't know. Okay, a little bit of backstory. So this didn't just come to me out of nowhere. I actually recently, me and my boyfriend, we decided to sit down and watch all of the Planet of the Apes movies, and that was so fun. I had an absolute blast. And then at the weekend that was just there, I went and I seen the fourth one, which I honestly loved. I need to hear your guys' opinions if you have seen it or not. I'm not going to give any spoilers, don't worry. But I was just so excited, like, by those movies. I started building this like a week before I seen the new one. So I started building this and then I watched the new one, and then that inspired me even more. And then I continued this build. And yeah, if you don't know, without any spoilers, Planet of the Apes is pretty much like I guess it is like a post-apocalyptic scene. There's a lot of elements that you would maybe traditionally see in like more zombie movies and things. But yeah, it's kind of like about a world being overrun by apes. And so a lot of things have, you know, crumbled, you know, a lot of things maybe don't work anymore, aren't used. So you have this very like rustic, overgrown atmosphere, and I love that look. Like, as crazy as it sounds, I think it's beautiful, especially in like video games and stuff, especially in movies. They just do it so well. And so I wanted to bring something like that to The Sims, and that's what it was inspired by. Now, I love a lot of dystopian post-apocalyptic movies and stuff. I'm kind of like a sucker for them. Like, it's my thing. That I just love. My favorite movie in the world is actually The Maze Runner, and so I definitely, you know, was inspired by that as well with certain elements and things. But yeah, I just wanted to build something like this. I honestly went into it not knowing how this was going to work out at all, because I kind of thought, how, like, what are the possibilities with The Sims? Because I always think like, you know, is it going to be super limited? Is it maybe not going to, what's the word, like transfer well? I know the word, but I can't think of it. Yeah. Anyway, you probably know what I'm meaning, but you know, sometimes it doesn't like translate over very well when you're trying to sort of think of an idea and then pop it into The Sims. It just doesn't come out how you expect. But this I am super proud of. Now, I am going to say that this has quite a lot of cool elements, and those include there is a whole hospital, which you can probably see. That is the white building on the right. That whole building is a hospital, and you'll get to see me like decorate the inside and stuff. It's really cool. I thoroughly enjoyed that part. There ends up being a school in this building, and the school area is so cute. I can't wait to get onto that area. It was also inspired by something that I'm going to talk about a little bit later. There's a gym, there's a greenhouse, there's kitchens, there's dining room, and there's also, sorry, I meant to say dining rooms, but there's only one dining room, so I just said dining room. There's a dining room, and there's also, as you probably guess, a lot of bedrooms, a lot of sleeping areas for the Sims, the people that sort of live here. Now, the idea behind this is that this is not somewhere that they have been living for like a week. This is somewhere that has been built up, and it's been built up and up and up over time. Because, I mean, I don't think anyone is building this within a week, but my sort of story was that they found this hospital and there was like lots of these like containers nearby, and so they kind of used the containers, built them up, and decided to do it directly next to the hospital, because the hospital will have a lot of things that they can use, like medicine. They can even use like the beds and things. They can use any like towels, any blankets, pillows, whatever, like things like that. There's just a lot of useful items within a hospital that they would probably need. And although they're probably not necessarily using the hospital how it usually would be, I think that they do try and use the hospital as their kind of emergency area if anything happens. So I feel like they probably have people that work in there, and I don't know, it's still very run down, it's still very overgrown on the inside, don't get me wrong, it is not like pristine looking or anything like that, but I think they try and keep it as well as they can and use it for even like newer people. Like, I feel like they probably go out, they maybe go to certain areas, they find people and they bring them in, and you know, this is kind of where they rehabilitate people. I don't know if that's a word. I know that's the word you would use for like animals, but I don't know if you would say rehabilitate for people. But anyway, that's kind of where they do that, you know what I mean? And yeah, I thought that was really fun. I love that whole aspect. Now, as I was saying before, there is a school, and I love the school area. I thought this was such a cool idea, and I thought the children that are going to be here, because I think, sorry, I changed topics so quickly, but I think the people that are here, they are trying to, you know, get the population up, because there's not a lot of people, it's an apocalypse, so they are having kids. I mean, not like crazy or anything, they're just like having them if it happens. You know, people have romantic relationships and stuff, and some people will have already had kids before the kind of apocalypse, and so they're now old enough to go to school. And yeah, I think they find it very important for the kids to get an education. So I thought that was a nice thing to add, and I love that element. Now you might have noticed there's a little area down at the left side, that little like orange building area, and that ends up being an area where your Sims can go and get food if they want to just get food and take it away, or they can go into the dining hall and they can sit down and have a meal. It's completely up to you. I kind of put both in so that you would have both options, but yeah, the idea is also that Sims work in there. They have like a little kitchen where they cook, and yeah, I thought that was really nice. Now, I did a poll over on my Instagram. I think it was yesterday, not my Instagram, my YouTube community, and I had asked if you guys wanted this to be a longer video or a shorter one, because I was really debating like cutting out a lot of this footage where I'm just kind of like scattering things around. Now, I did cut a lot of footage of me just like moving the camera angle, me trying to look at it from a certain angle, me trying to like, I don't know, place things that don't work, things like that. But yeah, I really debated just cutting a lot of it out to make the video shorter, but you guys did vote and most people had said they wanted a longer video, so I thought, why not? I love doing longer videos. I genuinely don't upload them because I feel like other people don't want to see them, but if you want to see longer videos, I am so up for that, especially with builds like these. Now, I know that my posting schedule has not been amazing recently, and I apologize so much for that. I did just have my birthday. I turned 21, and thank you all for the lovely birthday wishes. I got a lot of really nice birthday wishes on my last cast video, which was so sweet. And yeah, I had a really nice week with my family and boyfriend, and yeah, it was super fun. But where was I going with that? My brain is not working. I had a really nice week with my family. Yes. And then the following week was just, it was so busy because I was back at work, and then I had to like worry about getting back into my work schedule. And so, yeah, I've had a lot of stuff going on. I've got like a few projects I'm working on that I'm not going to disclose as of yet. But yeah, a few things I'm just working on at the moment. So I have been a little bit out of the loop with uploading, but hopefully with this being a bigger video, it sort of makes up for it. I know it's not perfect, but hopefully it makes up for it a little bit. Now let me know, are you guys wanting to see some summer builds? I know this is not very summer themed, but let me know if you're wanting to see like any like beach houses, any summer huts, any like summer homes, anything like that, because I am really in that summer mood. We had such good weather in Scotland like the other day, and yeah, it was raining today, like awful rain, gloomy. It was thunderstorm and lightning, in fact, like 2 days ago. But last week the weather was beautiful, and it's still super warm. It's like very humid at the minute, so I'm definitely still sort of in that summer mood. So yeah, please let me know if you want to see them. I'll probably be doing them anyway, but if you have anything specifically you want me to see, then you want me to do, then I'd be more than happy. Now, oh, just a disclaimer, I start the inside of this build like 17 minutes in, so if you want to skip to that, I completely understand, because yeah, it's kind of just me putting things on roofs for a while and then decorating the outside. So yeah, if you want to skip at all, I completely understand. I just thought I'd let you know, so you're not just like watching me play stuff and you're like, when is the inside of the build? But yeah, I just thought I would mention, but also again with the schedule, I'll go back to that. So yeah, my schedule's not been amazing, but I have had just such like hectic work life right now. So I went back last week, and yeah, it's been fine, it's been okay, but I just feel like I'm doing so much more hours, mainly because I'm actually covering for someone, and so I'm doing like mainly 9 to 5s, and that's probably very normal for most people, but I'm used to doing sort of interchangeable what's the word, like different shifts, like I usually get a kind of shift of shifts. Like my shifts change, so sometimes I might have a 10:30 to 6:30, sometimes I might have a 9 to 5, sometimes I might even be in at like 12:30 to 6:30, sometimes I might even be in like 9 to 4, 9 to 3. But yeah, this week is very like 9 to 5, so I'm trying to get the energy to do my day at work, get home, edit videos, record videos, and yeah, it's just been a lot at the moment, but hopefully you don't mind too much. I had such a hectic ride home today because I got the bus, and I always get the bus home, so it takes about an hour, which is fine. I get 2 buses, so I got on the first bus, that was fine, easy, whatever. Now it came to the second bus, and it took so long to come, like it was 20 minutes late, so it was already like 10 to 6 at this point, and normally I'd be home at 6. So I was like, this is great. And then 2 of the bus I was looking for, like, so I was wanting a certain number bus, and 2 of them showed up. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get on the one behind, because the one behind is gonna be less busy. So I got on the one behind, and then the guy, I guess he was running really late, he was on the phone to someone, and he was like, I'm not gonna go to such and such destination, which was where I had to get off. He was like, I'm not gonna go there, I'm just gonna double back and do the full route. So he was just gonna like go back, like, you know what I mean, like he was just gonna turn around and take the bus all the way back. So I was like, oh no. So I got off the next stop, and I was like, okay, this is fine. He wasn't doubling back for like a little bit because of where he was, so I was like, that's fine, I can get off the next stop. So I got off, I walked down, and I was like, I'm gonna wait on a different number bus. But then that same number came, the one that I was just on, like the same number of that bus came. So I was like, do you know what, I'll just get on that one, because that one is probably going to my destination, since it was only a problem with the other bus. So I got on that one, and then the bus driver says to me, you were just on my bus. And I realised I had just gotten on the same bus, the exact same bus that was about to turn around. So then I had to like sneakily get off the bus. He ended up like having to stop the bus, get out, speak to someone on the phone, because like he said he'd been up since like 4 in the morning, and yeah, he was so tired and he had to have someone like come and cover the shift. So I was like, that's fine. That means I can sneak away. So I sneaked away, and I eventually got onto the actual bus. But yeah, I didn't get home until like 6:30, and I finished at 5. And I know there's like much worse. Like I definitely could live further away than that, and I could get home at like 7 or 8. So I am thankful at least that it's not too far. But yeah, I was just so sad because I had so much things planned to do when I got home, and yeah, but I just thought I'd share that story because it was just so hectic. I just feel like I had such a hectic day. But anyway, I'm just rambling on about random stuff. But yeah, so that's kind of been my life at the moment, how it's going. So yeah, I'm really trying to be on track with videos and stuff, and hopefully you guys don't mind, and you've been so patient, so I just want to say thank you so much. I genuinely appreciate it, like so much. But anyway, let's talk about the build and things, and yeah, just fun stuff. So you can probably tell that a lot of this build was inspired by things like the Walking Dead game, the Last of Us game. I say the game specifically because I haven't fully watched The Last of Us, and I have seen parts of the Walking Dead, but I'm more of a Walking Dead game fan and a The Last of Us game fan than I am series, sorry, just because I haven't really seen them. So a lot of the build was inspired by that, because I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna incorporate a lot of those vibes into here, because this is how it would be. Oh, I don't even think I've spoken yet. I said that this was inspired by Planet of the Apes. This is true, but I haven't actually said what kind of apocalypse this is. Now, the reason is because I actually don't know. So I knew that like it's probably going to be some sort of virus, okay? So if we're thinking most tangible, is that the word? Like most likely to happen. I had this conversation with my brother the other day. I was like, what do you think's the most like could happen apocalypse? You know? And we spoke about it, and I would say probably like The Last of Us, because it's based off of like the cordyceps. Or I was thinking honestly Planet Apes, because I mean the way it was made, like it was made by humans, and it was like it was an engineering way that they were trying to stop Alzheimer's, and of course it had this like really crazy effect on apes, and so that caused this uprising of apes. Now I feel like that's not super crazy. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just the way they did the movies was like so well, but I'm like, that could happen, something similar. Whereas things like The Walking Dead, I don't know if they're as like, I don't know the words. My words are not wording today, but I feel like it's not as likely to happen as like The Last of Us. But yeah, I don't know what kind of apocalypse this is. So that's something that you can decide for yourself. I was saying earlier, my favorite movie that's like dystopian and stuff is The Maze Runner. I love The Maze Runner so much. But that is something that I think, again, is quite realistic. So the whole thing with that is that it's sort of... I think the idea was, the sun, of course, scorched their world because of the adverse effect from what they were doing. And then Wicked made the mazes. And Wicked, if you don't know, stands for World in Catastrophe Kill Zone Experiment Department. I know this because I read all the books and watched the movie so many times. But they pretty much, if you've not seen it, they made a what is the word, like a maze, and this was supposed to be an experiment to work out survival of the fittest, who would survive, who wouldn't, and then they would kind of try and figure out the cure for this, and that would that would enable them to help the cure for the flare virus. And the flare virus was sort of their version of zombies. They were called cranks in the movie and stuff, but yeah, kind of like their version of zombies. Now, take away the zombies and stuff, I feel like having experiments done and like having to do, like, you know, having people arrange experiments to sort of work out survival of the fittest and stuff, that is not too crazy. Like, I feel like that is not super far-fetched again, so something that could happen. I feel the same a little bit about the Hunger Games, but I think it's a little bit more far-fetched. But I mean, it's not too crazy. It's just like people paying to watch, it's like rich people paying to watch poor people like fight to their death, which is brutal. But again, like, it's not something that couldn't necessarily happen if, you know, like, I don't know what would need to happen for that to happen, but yeah, I was just trying to think, like, what's the most likely thing. Now, clearly this is not a Hunger Games scenario, and it's not a Maze Runner scenario. This is more like your typical zombie apocalypse, or I don't know, something that's just gone on, like a virus or something like that. And anyway, I just thought that it was cool to have your own interpretation. So I didn't want to say it was zombies, and maybe you have a different idea to what you think it is, but I would love to hear your comments down below. And by the way, I'm sorry that you have to listen to my voice for like almost an hour. I have realized now, like 20 minutes in, that I can talk. And half of the time I don't think I even make coherent sentences. I don't think that half the things I say even make much sense, but that's okay. And I also get distracted really easily, but it's okay. We'll work through it. Hopefully you guys have an attention span like mine and you're okay with it. But yeah, so anyway, this I'm going to talk about the build. So I decided to do this area, which is of course where your Sims get food, so they can just come here and collect it. And this little table is supposed to be for the workers, so they don't really have a staff room, but they just kind of sit here at the table. I end up putting 2 hot dogs on the table and 2 cans of juice. I was thinking that they probably sit here, have a bite to eat, and then they kind of get back to work. Now, I do end up cluttering up this little fridge here, and I thought that was such a good like thing to add. Now, from what I was going off of was that they do have electricity in a way. They managed to kind of get generators. They're using solar panels, which I added to the roof, so they do have some power. They do have things that work, some fridges that work and things like that. But in all of the bedrooms and stuff, I don't add working fridges. So in some of them I add broken ovens and broken fridges, but I wanted to keep the working things to places like this, places like the dining room, the I don't know what to call the other one, like the kitchen, things like that, because otherwise, I don't know, I feel like it's just a bit, it's too much. They probably wouldn't be able to get that much energy. So yeah, I think it makes more sense this way, and it also gives people a reason to kind of come down and get their food rather than, you know, sitting upstairs in their rooms all day and eating it. Also, the people that have jobs here, they are like, of course not working for money, but they're working just to keep things running. Like, they just want everything to work really well. They, you know, they're of course and just in the same situation as everyone else, so they're probably people that have been rescued, and so they've come in, and maybe some of them have been like, hey, like, I can cook, or people have been like, I'm really good with medicine, I'm a doctor, There'll be people that are good like with gardening, and yet all of these people just really help to make this environment. Now, I did say that there's a school. Now, attached to the school, there ends up being a greenhouse, and the greenhouse is kind of for the students, and that's where they learn to grow crops and things like that, grow their own food. Because I added little planter boxes to the upper levels of the building, and I thought it'd be really nice to have an area for like the kids to learn. But I'm going to be moving on to the school very, very soon, so you will see all of those areas. But yeah, this is the dining hall, so this is used by essentially everyone. There's some vending machines and things. They probably just kick these and get the cans out that way. That's what I would do. I mean, they don't have money. Again, they're not going by money, they're just going by, they want to help. They want to do what they can. And yeah, I think there's a lot of families staying in these places. And with a lot of the bedrooms I done, I say bedrooms, they're actually like nice little rooms and stuff. With a lot of the ones I've done though, they have a lot of personality to them, and some of them have like lots of kids, some of them are like, you know, mainly adults. But yeah, I think the way it's done is really, really nice. So I hope you guys like it. But yeah, I was just super invested in this storyline. I feel like it's just, there was so much I wanted to do, and I think that I did all of it. I want to say that I did like everything I wanted to do. I think it worked out super good. I was actually so impressed with how it was looking. But yeah, with the bedrooms and that, they're not carbon copies of each other, because I didn't want that. I wanted them to be very original. They're made out of containers and stuff. So yeah, every room has a different layout, but I only show me decorating 2 of the rooms, and then I kind of show an overview of what the rooms look like. But yeah, I only show me doing 2 because I thought you probably don't want to sit and watch me do like 6 rooms. So yeah, but I think it still showcases it really nicely. Now, in terms of gameplay, because I've not really spoken about this, I think that the best way to play with this would be with the for rent pack, because then you can have multiple people living on one lot. I feel like that makes the most sense. Now, of course, things like the hospital, the school and things like that, they're not going to work. That just wouldn't be the case. Unfortunately, you can't have multifunctioning lots, and also you can't build a hospital or a school on any lot except for their designated spots. So it's kind of a shame, but I feel like there's still really cool aspects to have. And yeah, I'm still really happy with how it turned out, but I think that is the best way to go about it. We're doing the greenhouse right now. I'm really excited for you to see this room because it's so sweet. It just works really nicely. But yeah, so that's how I kind of went about it and how I think it worked the best. So yeah, I really like that, and I think I'm going to be going on, so I'm going to be going on to the school just after this. So I'm going to say the school was heavily inspired by another show that I have seen, and that is called Snowpiercer. Now, I am very new into Snowpiercer, so please, no spoilers, none. I don't want to hear it. But I've been really enjoying it. I've been watching it with my dad, and it has been like so good so far. Now, in Snowpiercer, if you don't know what it is, it's about this train, and it's a massive train. It's 1,001 carts long, or at least it is in season 1. I don't know if anything changes, but it's 1,001 carts long. Cars long, carts. I think it's cars. I think it's referred to as cars. Anyway, 1,001 cars long, and they have everything on board. So there was something happening kind of similar to the Maze Runner where the world heats up, but what happened was they tried to stop it from heating up, which resulted in the world freezing over. And when it freezed over, it became like uninhabitable, like they could not live there. Humans just couldn't thrive in that environment. So they ended up with Snowpiercer, which is a massive train, and it just goes round and round and round the world. And it's massive. It's got everything, and it's got a school on it, and it's so cute. It's the cutest little school that you have ever seen in your life. It is adorable. The teacher that works in there is so nice as well, and yeah, it's just so cute, and I was so heavily inspired by that, and that's what made me build this like little school here. Now it looks very similar. If you go and watch Snowpiercer, or if you've seen it, you can probably tell I've inspired it. I tried to make it super colourful because the kids are not seeing too much colour, and I feel like this is their nice, safe place. This is where they get away from everything. You know, this is like a nice area for them. And although it's run down and you can see the stains and stuff, I tried to cover it up with a lot of paintings and pictures and works of art and stuff, just to kind of make it a bit more nice and like calm for them. So I love that. But yeah, it is very inspired by Snowpiercer's version of the school on the train. And I think it worked so nicely in this build. I just love how it looks. And I end up bringing the colour through to this little room as well. So there's two main rooms. So I ended up doing this room, which is the actual classroom where they sit, they do work, they learn, and you know, they build these little projects which are so cute. So we've got a lot of that going on. And then on the outside, they've got a little like bring your parent to work day, or I think it's like career day or something, which is super fun. I really like that. I end up putting chess out there as well, some games for them, like a Blurfy, some toys. And yeah, just like I wanted there to be lots of stuff for them to do. This is kind of their area where they do activities and they don't worry too much about what's going on. They probably do learn about whatever this virus is. So whatever it is, I think they definitely get taught like this is what happened, this is why the world is the way it is. They probably learn about how the world used to be before this big like apocalypse happened. And yeah, I just get so immersed in these stories. Honestly, like you need to take The Sims away from me sometimes because I get too excited about things. But yeah, I thought that was really nice. You can let me know what you think about it. If this is something that you would want to use in your game, or even if it's something that just inspires you, or you just find kind of entertaining. I don't know if people like listen to my full voiceovers or if you use them to sleep or to study. Probably cannot study to me speaking because I just I couldn't study to me to me speaking, like no. But maybe you sleep to it, I don't know. Personally, when I watch people's like Sims videos, I usually do properly watch them, or I put them on while I build. So like I'll have a little video playing and then I'll also be building, and it doesn't like do anything in terms of inspiration really, because usually I'm building something completely different, but it's normally just a nice thing to listen to, and it's just, I don't know, it's just nice. I just like listening to people's videos while I build. I just think it's fun. But yeah, anyway, oh, something I have not spoken about. We recently got the roadmap for The Sims. If you don't know what a roadmap is, it's essentially like a how do you put it? A layout that shows what we're going to be getting for the remainder of the year. Now, I don't know if this roadmap covers the year or if it only covers a few months. However, it's looking good. I mean, I think it's looking good. You have to let me know what you think. But I believe we're getting an expansion pack. And is it 2 game packs? Or is it 2? It might not be game packs. It might be stuff packs. But I feel like it's 2 game packs. I think. I feel like I should know this. Should I like go in and check maybe? I'll go in and double check. But yeah. Anyway. So we're getting that, and we're getting something called, oh, that's what it is, destination kits. We're getting something called like destination kits or expansions or something like that. Let me double check, because now I'm not sure. Okay. Okay, so the Season of Love in The Sims 4. So I'd seen that, which is like, everyone's like, what is this? Like, what is a destination pack? Like, what does this mean? I honestly have no idea. um, okay. I think what it's supposed to be is they're kits, but they include worlds in them, which is not something that has ever happened. So it's called like a destination kit, and it's a kit that takes you to a world. But by the looks of it, I don't know, it's giving me very like hotel vibes. I don't know. Maybe that's just like me being to like I don't even know, me just wanting there to be hotels, but it sort of looks like it's to do with like romance and stuff. So I don't know if it's going to be rentals or places that your Sims can stay and things. I mean, I'm assuming that if it's going to be like a destination kit, it's going to be somewhere that your Sims can go and stay if they want to. But I think that's super cool, because I love building in new worlds. And yeah, I want to build in new worlds. I want there to be more worlds to build in, to be honest. I feel like that's something we can't get enough of. It is worlds. Because like, you're building, I mean, if you're like me, you're building constantly. You need places to build. And like, certain builds suit certain worlds. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's so many more cool things that they could do with worlds. Um, it's always situations like this where I forget, like, off of the top of my head what they could do. I don't know, maybe they could do more like city worlds, because we only have San Myshuno, and I love San Myshuno and I love the apartments in San Myshuno, but I have built in all of the apartments so many times, and yeah, I don't know, I just feel like we should maybe have another world that is it doesn't need to be inspired by New York, it could be inspired by like any city, but I feel like that's something that we should have, and then we have like an extra one where we can build in different like apartments, especially if they made like micro apartments. That would be so cool. But yeah, I feel like that's something that they could include, maybe, possibly. Don't know if they will, but I don't know, that's just my thoughts, I suppose. I think it would be really fun. There was something I was gonna say, but my mind has completely went blank. Oh yeah, speaking of apartments, so I recently did, it was actually quite a while ago now. Wait, let me see when I did it. I am so behind on like knowing things. But I recently had done a video on the first episode of my apartment romance trope series. So I did that April 21st, okay, so almost a month ago. And I have the next like installment of that series like ready. Like, I know what I'm doing for the storyline. I have wrote the story. If you don't know, for that series, it's very different from my usual voiceovers. Instead of me doing like a voiceover and like talking as I am right now, I pretty much just give you this in-depth story about a romance trope that is happening based on the sim living in the apartment that I'm decorating. And it's a really, really fun series. I've only done one episode of it so far, but I'm really excited to do the next one. But I've already planned it. I know what I'm doing. I just need to build the apartment and get it all sorted. Now, what I think I'm going to do in future videos is I'm going to kind of go back to old stories and do the other perspective. So like in my last video, I had created a story about these two main characters, and I really focused on the girl storyline, but I only gave a glimpse into the guy storyline. So I think in like newer, like later episodes, I'm gonna do, his perspective and things like that. So yeah, that's something to really stay tuned into if you like things like that. I feel like it's fun. It's kind of like I'm reading you a book, but it's something that I've wrote, and you kind of get to expand on it however you like, because it's something that I thought would work really well for if you're struggling with gameplay ideas and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. I thought that would be a really fun one. Now, anyway, I've spoken through like the bedroom areas, so I am going to talk about them a little bit. So that first one I just did was for 4 children and 2 parents, and now this one is for a child, 2 parents, which I end up moving their beds together, and then a toddler as well, because again, they're trying to repopulate, so a lot of them will have younger kids as well. So I thought that was really nice. I'm using a lot of the rundown furniture, like the Basement Treasures kit sofa, the werewolf sofa, of course, as well. And then I keep this theme for the whole thing. I do end up doing the apartments above as well, and there ends up being 3 on this floor and 3 on the floor above as well, but I don't show the third one on this floor and I don't show the 3 above, but I do a little like overview so you can see them. But I just didn't want to do them all on camera because I thought it was a little bit much, but you do get to see me doing this one and the last one I just did. And yeah, I think this is just, it's such a, I don't want to say like a nice atmosphere because it's definitely not that, but like, I don't know, it's like cozy. It's very like, these people are safe. They have been living here a while, like they're comfortable being here. Things are slowly getting upgraded, and yeah. So I wanted that to kind of come across, and I think it does really nicely. Now on the very top floor there ends up being a extra bedroom, and that bedroom is for the guy that he isn't in charge. Okay, no one's like in charge, but he helped to start this whole community. So he had kind of I think he was maybe the one that found the hospital, and so he decided to start building near it, and he's the one that started to get people, and so he's the reason pretty much that they have so many survivors, because he went out, he looked for these people, and he essentially let them move in here and create their own spaces. Here you can see the overview of both of the floors, but yeah, they're pretty straightforward but pretty cute. But yeah, this is his like quarters, this is where he lives, and there also ends up being a gym up here. Now I started by building his bedroom in the gym, and then I decided to swap it around and make the bigger room the gym and the smaller room like his room. Now, his apartment is very small, probably the smallest one in this whole place, but he's the only person that has his own fridge that works. And he also has like a telescope to look out, and yeah, he's very like considerate and caring of the people around. He has a lot of things that he makes, he uses his tools, he has like a water heater up here which spreads heat heat, spreads like warm water throughout the whole I don't want to say building, but like this whole area for them. And yeah, he really cares about these people. I think he's quite old as well, like I don't think he's too old, but I think he's older. And yeah, he really cares about people, and people really care about him. Imagine having to like walk up all these stairs though just to go to the gym. I mean, I feel like that would be your workout. Although if you're going to the gym, may as well start it off with like a nice walk up to the gym. But yeah, I tried to build this kind of rundown makeshift gym that I used the werewolves equipment for, because their stuff is like so rundown. It works perfectly, and yeah, I just loved how it looked. So hopefully you like it too, but I wanted there to be a few areas where your Sims can do things, because I felt like it was a little bit, I don't know, a little bit gloomy, like not too much they can get up to. So I thought this was nice. But yeah, I'm sure after this we then move on to the hospital, which I'm so excited to get over onto. And I honestly feel like I've spoken rubbish this whole video, and now I have like anxiety because I'm like, oh no, Like, am I gonna have to redo this whole voiceover because I just talk rubbish? But hopefully you kind of like the rambly voiceovers. Sometimes I think it's nice to touch base and talk about things that are on my mind, and I love to ramble. And yeah, I guess I could have talked more about the build for the whole duration, but I don't know, I just get so distracted. I always do this thing where I'm speaking, and right in the middle of me speaking, I just completely forget what I'm gonna say. But like, it's just like, it's out of nowhere, and I'm in the middle of speaking about it, but my brain is just like, wait, what am I saying? And I do it so often, and it's really not good. It's really it's really not good, but I always do it, and I'm sorry. You've probably noticed that I always do it. But yeah. Now I just want to say I will have videos for my cast series coming out, and also the renovating tiny houses. I don't think they're going to be out this week. I just haven't had time to record them at the moment, but I'm looking at next week because I think I have a few days off next week. I think I think I might have like the Friday off or something. I don't know. I have a few days off, or I have a day off at least, and I think my shifts are a wee bit back to normal, so I should be able to kind of get some more videos made. But yeah, thank you again for being so patient. But we are moving on to the hospital, so I hope you guys like this part of the video. I think what I'm gonna do is create little timestamps for this video because it's so hectic, and just in case you want to see like one certain part, or you want to, even if you want to watch it, like watch some of the video and then you want to go back and watch more later, at least you know what part you were at. So yeah, but anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, my cast series and stuff. I'm going to be filming that, but thank you for all the love and support on the cast series, because I did not know how that was going to do. I'd never did cast before. That was like my first time playing around with it, was these videos I've been doing, and I've been loving it so much. They're like my favorite videos to film, so I'm really glad you guys are enjoying them. But I am trying not to kind of slack on the builds as well, because I love building. I am a builder, and yeah, my whole channel is kind of like about building, so I definitely want to be doing that as well. But I'm just really glad I've got that variety going. But here is the hospital. Now, I did have a kind of layout for what I wanted to do. So the idea is, on the bottom floor we have like the entrance, and it's got little areas for Sims that come in. They're maybe injured, or they maybe just need a little like checkup. They need to lie down and be seen. They probably have like medical exams in here as well, because I did put like treadmills. And then on the second floor we have got the child delivery labor area. I don't know the name, but I also put consultation rooms, which I think are used for like, you know, pregnancy consultations, or just normal things like doctoring, like doctors helping you with any symptoms that you've got and things like that. So I thought that was a nice thing to add, and it made a lot of sense. So I made like a front desk for you to, you know, get told what waiting room you're meant to stay in. And then there's 2 waiting rooms, and then there's 2 little consultation rooms. And then there is a staircase leading up to the 3rd floor, and the 3rd floor ends up being for x-ray rooms. So there's it being like x-ray scanners, and I thought that worked really nicely, because then you have like 3 key areas. Now, I know it's not a super big hospital. It's probably not the best hospital ever, and at the end of it I end up making it super like grimy and gross and just not ideal. So yeah, just keep that in mind. But I think that they most likely have completely raided this place. Like, this place probably has no medicine in it anymore, because a hospital is really good for like getting medicine, and I think they completely raided it. They've got all of that stuff now, but they still use the hospitals. So I don't know, I was kind of mixed between wanting to put medicines in, but also being like, I mean, they've probably been put away, they've probably been used, things like that. But yeah, maybe they have like special areas for the people that are like working in the hospitals at the moment, where they have access to certain medications that other people are not. Like, you have to go to the hospital for it, because although this place ends up being super grimy and not the best, it's still sort of being used as a hospital just because of all the facilities they have. So yeah, I was kind of trying to work it out. Now, I don't think things like the x-ray machines and stuff, I don't think they would work. I'm just saying, I know that they have the solar energy and stuff, but I just feel like it's pushing it if we assume that these work. But if you want to have it in your like gameplay or story, whatever, that it does work, then you definitely should. You should go for it. I didn't want to like seem too far fetched, like I'm just making stuff up. But yeah. Now, I didn't clutter up the hospital too much. I feel like hospitals are very clean places, not this one specifically, but hospitals are traditionally quite clean, quite neat and put together, so it's kind of untouched with the exception of being covered in grass and moss and I don't think necessarily fungus. Even when I was adding like the stains and stuff to the child's rooms in the houses, I didn't want it to be like fungus. I thought it was more like rust from the metal, more like just stains from it being there for so long, because yeah, I don't know. I don't know the reason. I know that fungus and things like that, and mold is what I was thinking, is obviously not very safe. So I feel like they definitely prioritize mold, especially if this was caused by anything viral, any sort of bacteria. They're not going to want bacteria growing so much. So yeah. Oh, by the way, I don't even think I mentioned, but you know that little area with the trees, that is for the like uh adults, so that's where the adults like go and plant trees and stuff. But yeah, there is a little greenhouse for the children that are in school as well, of course. Now, I ended up rearranging this first room when you walk in, so I ended up moving the front desk over to the right, and then I moved the bathrooms up to the back, and then I created a sort of like emergency room, kind of like a room that you would be rushed to if you were like rushed by ambulance. Now, this is just how it was laid out like before they found it, of course, so these things won't really be in use anymore. But yeah, you'll kind of see that little area. I covered it with curtains because I just thought it worked really nicely. So yeah, you'll kind of see the idea coming to life. But I tried my best with this. I tried to do it the best I could, and I think it worked really nicely. But yeah, I I think I end up using the carpet from City Living, and it's the one that has like all the like moldy stains. But again, I don't think it's mold. I just think it's like kind of dirty. So I think this worked really well. You'll see when I add it, I just think it adds so much more to this hospital. It goes from being this really nice, put together place to being like very like, oh, something's happened, like things have went wrong. I also like to think there's no like bodies or anything in here. I think it's very like clean and they've kind of disposed of anything that shouldn't be in here, especially if like kids are gonna go in here, which I would assume they wouldn't, but yeah, always a possibility. But yeah, we are actually coming to the end of this video. This has been such a long voiceover, so I'm so sorry that you've had to listen to my voice for 55 minutes almost. I really, really hope you guys enjoyed this one nonetheless. I know that it's a bit bigger than my usual builds, but I really, really enjoyed making it, and I'm so excited for the future builds to come. If you did enjoy, please make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to be part of the Cookie Club and join my memberships and yeah, get some cool perks, then please make sure to check that as well in my description of my channel. But yeah, thank you all so much. Please let me know what you want to see next. Let me know what you thought of this one, and tell me your favorite dystopian slash post-apocalyptic movies or series, because I would love to check them out or relate with you on how good they are. But yeah, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Really appreciate you even making it this far in the video. So thank you all, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye.